Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to talk about biodiversity. This is the 12th lesson of grade 9 science. Biodiversity. Biodiversity is defined as the variability among living organisms from all sources including inter-alia, terrestrial, marine and other aquatic ecosystems and the ecological complexes of which they are part. This includes diversity within species, between species, and of ecosystems. Biodiversity provides functioning ecosystems that supply oxygen, clean air and water, pollination of plants, pest control, wastewater treatment, and many ecosystem services. Recreation. Many recreational pursuits rely on our unique biodiversity, such as birdwatching, hiking, camping, and fishing. The importance of biodiversity. Increase ecosystem productivity. Each species in an ecosystem has a specific niche, a role to play. Support a large number of plant species and therefore a greater variety of crops. Protect freshwater resources. Promote soils formation and protection. Provide for nutrient storage and recycling. Aid in breaking down pollutants. Contribute to climate stability. Speed recovery from natural disasters. Provide more food resources. Provide more medicinal resources and pharmaceutical drugs. Offer environments for recreation and tourism. Ecosystem. A system that includes all living organisms means biotic factors in an area as well as its physical environment. Abiotic factors interacting with one another as a unit is known as an ecosystem. Here are some examples for ecosystems: a forest, a grassland, a beach, a mangrove environment. Now we are going to talk about ecosystem diversity. The diversity among ecosystems is known as ecosystem diversity. Then species diversity. The diversity among the species is known as species diversity. Some species of living organisms are shown below: bacterium, ulva, grass, snail, coconut tree, parrot. All these are different species. All living organisms are categorized as plants, animals, and microorganisms. Modern man belongs to the species Homo sapiens sapiens. Even within the same species, there are differences among the individuals. The reason for these differences of a certain species is genetic diversity. Humans of Homo sapiens sapiens with different features are shown in the following picture. Living organisms are made up of cells. Chromosomes are located in nucleus of these cells. Genes are located on these chromosomes. The features of living organisms are controlled by genes. Genetic diversity is the cause for the differences among organisms within the same species. There is a diversity among the ecosystems that organisms live and there is a diversity among the living species. Not only that, there is a diversity among the organisms of the same species. Biodiversity is a combination of ecosystem diversity, species diversity, and genetic diversity. Now let's find out the importance of biodiversity. Higher biodiversity in an ecosystem also increases the well-being and the stability of that ecosystem. The beauty of the environment increases due to the biodiversity. Biodiversity has reduced the competition between the species. When considering the animal world, animals are competing for requirements such as habitat, food, security, and choice of partners. Roots of plants adapted to minimize the competition for water. There are deeply rooted plants, and there are plants with roots on the surface of the earth. There are plants with roots that can absorb water from the atmosphere, so the competition for water is reduced. The beaks of different bird species are of different shapes. This is important to reduce the competition for food. Various birds depend on various foods and their beaks are shaped according to their diet. These are the examples: hummingbird, duck, hawk, and parrot. Because of biodiversity, it is possible to use these genetic materials in a favorable manner in agriculture. The wild types of most plants and animals used in agriculture are found in natural ecosystems. Genes that are resistant to pests, adverse environmental conditions, and illnesses are available in these wild types. Due to biodiversity, some species are endemic to each region. Species that can be seen only in one geographical region or country are known as endemic species. Humans conserve these endemic species due to this rich biodiversity. These are the examples: Asopepethia, blue magpie, green pit viper, Bandulapethia, jungle fowl, and Rilava. This biodiversity helps to protect the water resources and soil to maintain favorable climatic conditions and minimize environmental pollution. Biodiversity is very important for entertainment, various research works, and educational activities. Now we'll find out levels of organization in the biosphere. Individual. A single organism living in the environment is called an individual. Examples: a mango tree, an elephant, a rabbit. Species. Individuals with many similar characteristics and can give birth fertile offsprings are called species. Population. In a given period of time, in a specified area, the number of organisms belonging to a particular species is known as a population. Community. Community is a number of populations living in an area showing interrelationships among them. There are interrelationships among populations for needs such as food, shelter, and safety. Ecosystem. All the communities in an area, together with the abiotic environment with which they interact, are known as an ecosystem. Examples: a home garden, a big tree, a decaying log, a forest, a freshwater pond. Biosphere. All the ecosystems on Earth together are known as biosphere. The zone on Earth where life is found is called the biosphere. The biosphere consists of lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. Threats to biodiversity. There are many threats for biodiversity. Now we are going to find out reasons for threats. First one, natural reasons. Since ancient times, biodiversity has been affected by the impact of various natural activities. Collapsing meteors, volcanic explosions, tsunami, earthslides, and floods are some of these natural reasons. Examples: it is considered that the meteor collapse caused for the extinction of dinosaurs. There is an argument that natural global warming was the reason for the extinction of mammoth. Second reason is human activities. With the rapid increase in the human population, forests are destroying extensively to meet their needs. Rapid deforestation disrupts the habitats of living organisms. Also, the construction of various buildings, streets, and reservoirs splits the habitats of living organisms. The increase in human population causes many environmental issues. Overuse of resources and addition of pollutants to the environment are often caused by human activities. Soil, aquatic, and air ecosystems get so polluted and these ecosystems become unsuitable for survival of organisms. These reasons have a strong impact on biodiversity. Spreading of invasive organisms in an ecosystem to make a strong impact on its biodiversity. Example: plants, Kadapana and Parthenium. Animals, tank cleaner fish, Mannava fish. The introduction of genetically modified new organisms into the environment cause adverse impact on biodiversity. Climatic changes due to environmental problems such as ozone layer depletion and global warming will affect the biodiversity. These threats have caused biodiversity degradation worldwide. Therefore, biodiversity should be conserved. The regions of higher density of living organisms are called hotspots. As Sri Lanka belongs to a hotspot region, it is our duty to contribute for the conservation of biodiversity. Now we'll find out important features of ecosystems. All living organisms in a community and the physical environment interacting with them considered together as an ecosystem. Example: a pond, a forest, decaying log, coral reef environment, a grassland. Features of an ecosystem. There are several features. First one, interaction occur between living components as well as between non-living components. Living-living relationships, living non-living relationships. Non-living non-living relationships. Second one, the energy flows through one-way stream. The solar energy which is used by green plants in photosynthesis is stored in the food produced during this process. The energy flows from lower consumer levels to the higher consumer levels through food chains or food webs. Third one, recycling of materials. The materials that organisms receive from the environment continue to be back to the environment. The continuous exchange of materials between the organisms and the environment is an important feature of an ecosystem. Fourth one, an independent unit. Since there are constant interactions within the ecosystem, it has ensured the existence in biosphere. Now we'll find out living relationships in an environment. The interactions between the living organisms are known as living relationships. These interactions are to meet the following needs: food, security, and reproduction. Some such interactions: animals consuming plants as food, some predators consuming other animals, certain microorganisms depending on other living organisms. Some animals use trees as their habitat. Animals hiding among plants for protection. Some plants use animals to spread their species. Some plants fulfill their nitrogenous requirements from insects. They are the insectivorous plants, producing new creatures through reproduction for the continuous existence of life. Now we'll find out living non-living relationships. The interrelations between the living organisms and non-living components are known as living non-living relationships. The organisms interact with their habitat to get non-living components such as water, air, and light. Examples: the plants use solar energy for photosynthesis. Plants absorb water from soil. Plants and animals use atmospheric oxygen for respiration. Plants use atmospheric carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Plants release oxygen to the atmosphere as a result of photosynthesis. The living creatures are also adjusted to match the specific environmental conditions of their habitats. This is known as adaptation. Example: adaptations of plants to minimize transpiration in dry environment. This picture is about photosynthesis process taken place in a green plant. In the green plant, chlorophyll is there. Chlorophyll absorbs the sunlight. Carbon dioxide is absorbed from the atmosphere and water is absorbed from the soil. In the green leaves, carbon dioxide and water react together to form glucose. As a byproduct, oxygen is released to the environment. Non-living relationships. The interrelations between non-living components are known as non-living relationships. Examples: soil erosion by water, rock weathering due to water and solar heat, an environment subjected to soil erosion. You can see by this diagram. Now we are going to find out natural ecosystems and built environment. Sri Lanka is a country with a rich biodiversity. Various ecosystems are found due to the location of Sri Lanka as an island and the location of the central hill country. The location of different ecosystems is a major cause for a higher biodiversity. Ecosystems in Sri Lanka can be divided into two as natural ecosystems and man-made ecosystems. Natural ecosystems can be divided into two again as natural aquatic environments and natural terrestrial environments. Freshwater, marine water, brackish water are the natural aquatic environments. Forest and grasslands are the natural terrestrial environments. There are three types of man-made ecosystems: agricultural ecosystems, industrial ecosystems, and human settlements. Now we'll get natural aquatic environments. Natural aquatic environments can be categorized into three groups as freshwater, marine ecosystems, and brackish water environments. First, we'll get rivers. They are freshwater aquatic environments. Most rivers start from the catchment areas of the central highlands and flow to the sea. The water level of rivers fluctuate with the rainfall in the regions. Some rivers confine to a small stream during the dry season. Different species of plants and animals are living from the head wall or isthmus up to the estuary. Examples: Mahaveli River, Kalani River. Importance of rivers: fulfill the water needs for agriculture, generating hydropower, for transportation. Now we'll discuss about next aquatic environment, that is estuary. The place where a river falls to the sea is known as an estuary. As marine water and fresh water are mixed at estuary, water becomes brackish. Various organisms live in brackish water. The deposition of mud and sand in river water cause triangular islands known as a delta. Example: Estuary of Mahaveli opens to Kodiyar Bay and Tambalagam Bay. Importance of an estuary: prevents the mixing of marine water and fresh water. Abundance of fish species with economic importance. Rich in biodiversity. Lagoon. A lagoon is a shallow body of brackish water permanently separated from the sea by barriers of sand or reefs, but connected with the sea at one time during the year. Examples: Nigambu Lagoon, Batticaloa Lagoon, Puttalam Lagoon. What are the importance of lagoon? Used for fishing purposes because prawns, crabs, oysters are available in these places. The mangrove plants common on lagoons prevent sea erosion. A place of tourist attraction. Then we'll find out about riverine environment. The environment on either sides of the river, from starting point of the river to the point where it flows to the sea, is known as the riverine environment. Floodplains, sandy lands, marshy lands belong to this environment. Willow is a wetland in riverine environment. Due to overflow of a river during the rainy season, floodplains are created. Examples: Mahaveli floodplain at east. Importance of riverine environment. Used for inland fishing industry. The soil is very fertile in floodplains as silt flowing along the river is deposited in these areas. So this soil is used for agriculture as well as for tile and brick industry. Then we'll find out about inland water reservoirs. Naturally formed lakes and ponds belong to inland water reservoirs. Man-made tanks are also considered inland water reservoirs. They can be seen in both wet zone and dry zone and are freshwater environments. Plants such as lotus, lily, kekatia, and animals such as fish, frogs, snakes, otters, and aquatic birds can be seen in this environment. Examples: Parakram Samudra, Kalavel. Importance of inland water reservoirs. Used for inland fishery industry. Provides water for agriculture. Ocean. Marine area that covers most of the Earth's surface is known as ocean. A large living community such as algae, polyps, oysters and fish live in the oceans. Examples: Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean. Importance of the ocean. Rich in biodiversity. Ocean water is used to produce salt for fishing industry. Generates electricity by ocean waves. A place of tourist attraction. Wetlands. Marshy lands that are covered with water during a long period of time in the year are known as wetlands. There are freshwater wetlands, marine wetlands and man-made wetlands. Examples: Anavilundawa and Muthurajavela. Importance of wetlands. Wetlands are important to control flood, maintain the stability of reservoirs, minimize climatic changes, make groundwater nutritious and maintain the biodiversity. Used for different industries and tourism industry. Natural terrestrial environments. A vast biodiversity can be observed in natural terrestrial environments in Sri Lanka. Forest, tropical rainforest, tropical lowland rainforest or wet evergreen forest. There is a warm wet climate with the rainfall throughout the year. Receives over 2000 millimeters of annual rainfall. Mineral are cyclic. Located in areas with an elevation up to 900 meters. The trees with the higher economic value such as Hora, Keena, Miller, Halmilla and teak are common in these forests. Vegetation reach about 40 meters of height and grow densely. A canopy structure can be seen. Epiphytes and climbers are common on trees. Examples: Singharaja, Kanneliya, Dediyagala, Nakia Deniya forest. Importance of natural tropical rainforests. Endemic plants and animal species are very common. Can be considered as a special environment that protects the water resources of a country. Acts as a catchment area. Montane forest. Located in areas about 900 meters from the sea level. Annual rainfall is about 4000 millimeters. As there is a heavy wind, the trees are stunted. Also, they are with twisted stems and smaller leaves. The tops of the trees have become flat. Plant species such as Valsapu, Veralu, Mihiria, Dan, Keen, and animal species such as monkeys, loris, giant squirrel, stag can be seen. Examples: Haggala, upper part of knuckles. Importance of montane forest. Endemic plant and animal species are common. Act as catchment areas and protects many water resources. Minimize soil erosion. Dry mix evergreen forest or monsoon forest can be seen in dry zone but not much arid. Annual rainfall is about 1200 millimeters to 1900 millimeters. May to September is a long drought season. Evergreen and deciduous plants are present. Example: Wasgamuwa, Yala and Vilpattu. Importance of monsoon forests. A lot of economically valuable plants such as Palu, Burutha, Veera, Thorn, Ebony, Velang, Kalumediriya, Halmilla, Neem are common. Also animals such as deer, monkeys, leopards, bears, giant squirrel and elephants can be seen in these forests, act as catchment areas for reservoirs in dry zone. Thorn bushes and scrublands. Annual rainfall is over 1250 millimeters and temperature is high over 34 degrees Celsius. Considered as semi-arid areas, there are many adaptations in trees to withstand the arid environmental conditions. Some of the adaptations are having smaller leaves, fleshy leaves, ability to store water in the stem, and thorny bushes. Navahandi cactus, dalu, kaneru, ereminia, andhera, aloe are some of the trees that can be seen in these forests. Examples: Hambantota district, Puttlam district, and Kilinochchi district. Now we'll talk about grasslands. First one, wet patana, located in areas of 2000 meters altitude. There is heavy rainfall in these areas, normally located near forests. In addition to grass, there are also trees grown alone. Maratmal plant is prominent among them. Usnea lichens grow on these forests. The fern pteridium also can be seen in these grasslands. Examples: Horton Plains, Bopat Talawa, and Bhagavan Talawa. Next one, dry patana, widely spread than wet patana. The grass mana is very common. Apart from small forests in the valley and hills, other areas are covered with grass only. Usually grass is burned during the drought season. Soil gets eroded during the rainy seasons. Examples: Rakwana, Uva Basin. Next one, Damana. This is a type of grassland in the abundant chain cultivation areas in low country dry zone. Grasses such as mana, iluk, butter, and trees such as woodapple, palu, madan are common in these areas. This is the most preferred area of the elephants. Examples: Vilpattu, Maduru Oya, Velikanda. Talawa, a type of a grassland formed as a result of chain cultivation in low country wet zone. Examples: located in Kaluthara district, Haldumulla, and Mathura district. Man-made ecosystems in Sri Lanka. The man-made ecosystems in Sri Lanka can be categorized into three main groups. First one, agricultural environments. Second one, industrial environments. Third one, settlement environments. Now we'll find out about agricultural environments. An ecosystem designed for cultivation of crops and animal husbandry to meet the food requirements is called an agricultural environment. Occasions where humans have taken into their control of certain plants and animals that were distributed in natural environment are found in agricultural environments. For the cultivation of paddy, tea, vegetables, particular land preparation should be carried out. Also, lands must be allocated for animal husbandry. In this case, when the grasslands are regularly grazed, the plants do not exist. Hence, the biodiversity is limited. Next type, industrial environments. An ecosystem that has been built up by machines, raw materials, and energy resources required for a product is called an industrial environment. When a community is being developed, many productions, food, medicine, clothes, furniture, electrical equipment, sanitary materials are produced by many industries for betterment of living conditions of the citizens in a certain country. Even though these industrial products are useful to humans, they also have adverse effects. These are some of the adverse effects. Heavy noise in the industrial environment, releasing poisonous gases and smokes, release of excessive heat and contamination of water bodies. Harmful chemicals are released to the environment. Settlement environments. A rural or urban environment where man has established his habitat is known as settlement environment. Migration to cities on a variety of needs and urbanization in cities have resulted more urban settlements. Many problems have arisen due to improper human settlements. Reduced the space, not enough light, less ventilation, diseases become to epidemic situation, insufficient sanitary facilities, difficulty in removing household garbage, damages from emergency fires, flooding, cultural and social issues. That's the end of the lesson. Thank you.